What's up, Taiwan? I'm Sandy Chi with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Over 300 people in the mountains around Kaohsiung in southern Taiwan have been evacuated as a typhoon bears down on the country. Taiwan's southwest was hit with heavy rain brought by Typhoon Doksuri from Wednesday morning. Several roads have been closed and local residents have been warned of landslides. A land warning for the typhoon was issued on Tuesday. The storm is on track to pass the south of the country on Thursday. The evacuations in Kaohsiung follow floods and road closures in central Nantou County. Taiwan's military is practicing how it would respond to an attack on its largest airport as part of its annual Hangguang military drills. Our reporter Jaime Ocon was there.
For the first time ever, Taiwan's military is conducting a simulated air attack here at Taoyuan International Airport. It comes as day 3 as Taiwan's annual military drills are underway, which tests the country's response to an attack from China. And a part of that response is on display here. Troops are learning how to prevent Chinese soldiers from quickly capturing Taiwan's largest international airport. While soldiers have carried out similar drills in the past, this is the first time it's being done on a potential battlefield.
这个演习通常都是在其他地方做，或者是用模拟的方式。那这次很难得的采取实兵的方式，这也让整个的验证这次演习的实兵演练更接近实战的状况。
Because Taiwan is an island nation, airports and seaports are critical to connecting it with the outside world. In recent years, Beijing's threats towards Taiwan have increased, and so have its military operations in the region. But the two countries are separated by roughly 150 kilometers of ocean, which means an attack on Taiwan can only happen by sea or by air. In addition to helicopters, another possible scenario is Chinese aircraft parachuting in soldiers to capture the airport. If Taiwan doesn't contain and fend off this attack, China could land additional troops and push forward to the capital city Taipei, around 50 kilometers away. Exercises like these are so important for Taiwan because they can help the country adjust and correct its defense strategy.
Most important thing is get them before they land. So if we know that heliborne and airborne troops will be the primary transportation means, then you need to have short-range missiles and guns to take them down before they can land.
Taiwan has invested more in these types of anti-aircraft weapons, but these exercises are an opportunity for the military to see how its current defense plan holds up and if any changes are needed. These drills lasted about 40 minutes. They impacted dozens of flights and affected thousands of travelers. Now, that might seem like it's a lot. It's a small price to pay considering what could happen if the military wasn't trained to defend this vital transport hub. Leon Lien and Jaime Ocon in Taoyuan City for TaiwanPlus.
A vice chair of the European Parliament's Committee on Foreign Affairs has urged greater cooperation between Europe and Taiwan, including on security issues.
And that's why it is absolutely important that also democracies all around in the world, be it Europe, be it America, be it Asia, that we stick together and will have very deep cooperation to balance this negative influence of authoritarian regimes.
Umas Payat is leading a delegation of 8 members of the European Parliament on a 2-day visit to Taiwan. On Wednesday, they met with President Tsai Ing-wen. EU leaders in June declared a position on China-Taiwan relations for the first time. They said they firmly oppose any attempts to change the status quo in the Taiwan Strait. Taiwan has been seeking a trade agreement with the European Union. Payat warned that this would need agreement from the EU's 27 member states and could take years. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill aimed at boosting Taiwan's participation in international organizations. Tuesday's decision adjusts the language of a similar bill passed in 2019 to counter China's efforts to exclude Taiwan from the international community. The new version says the U.S. will oppose attempts by Beijing to resolve Taiwan's status by distorting the decisions, language, policies, and procedures of international bodies. China routinely blocks any involvement by Taiwan in the United Nations and its affiliated bodies, like the World Health Organization. Taiwan's first trial with citizen judges has drawn criticism, including over the punishment of a woman convicted of killing her husband. Louise Watt reports.
This is CCTV footage of the night police arrived to arrest a 63-year-old woman for killing her sleeping husband after years of abuse. Her trial was the first heard under Taiwan's new citizen judge system, whereby members of the public are selected to sit alongside judges to decide guilt and punishment. The woman, identified by her surname Ji, was convicted of murder and sentenced to 7 years and 2 months in prison, a punishment criticised by domestic violence campaigners.
他的37年那种很严重的受虐的一些创伤啊跟事实，并没有纳入他减刑的理由里面。我是觉得这对于那个就是妇女会不太公平。我觉得很可惜哈，没有纳入专家证人的部分。对国民法官而言，他是一般的民众，他们可能会比较难接受到这样的训练。
The crime of murder carries a penalty of at least 10 years imprisonment. Prosecutors had recommended a sentence of 8 to 12 years. Ji's lawyer tried to get this reduced to the minimum possible sentence of 5 years because of the decades of abuse she suffered. But in the end, the judges gave her a sentence of 7 years, 2 months, after prosecutors argued she didn't kill her husband under desperate conditions, but at a time when he was asleep. It's not just activists who are criticising the punishment. A former judicial officer and lawyer added his voice to the mix.
他也不太可能会有这种再犯的这种可能性，其实我想应该也不高啦。所以如果在这样的情况之下，我们有必要说要让这样子的被告在监狱待这么久的时间，再让他回到社会来吗？
Citizen judges were introduced to address a lack of public trust in Taiwan's justice system, with career judges seen as out of touch with society. But this first trial in the city of New Taipei has thrown up other concerns. The court only had 3 days to hear and decide a case, and 60% of the people called to participate as citizen judges didn't show up for final selection. Observers say judicial authorities need to better explain the new system to the public.
针对审理的过程当中的修法倡议，司法院都会密切关注，作为未来检讨啊，或者是未来相关法制作业上的参考。
The new system was meant to increase public trust in Taiwan's courts, but with its first case closed, the verdict's out on whether it will do so. Eason Chen and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
A Taiwanese NGO is launching a program to teach children about bodily autonomy. The Garden of Hope Foundation says the plan will help fight child sexual abuse.
我们教他们，他们可以早一点，好，然后有意识或者是知道怎么说。可是保护的责任绝对永远都是在大人的身上。
Over 8,000 cases of sexual abuse are reported in Taiwan each year, according to official statistics. More than 2% of those involve children under the age of 6. And the Garden of Hope says that 90% of their abusers are relatives or people they know. The organization plans to bring the program to thousands of kindergartens around the country. It's also urging the government to improve sex education for school workers. Visitors to Taiwan from Singapore will soon find entering and leaving the country a whole lot easier. Starting Thursday, Singaporeans can use Taiwan's e-gate quick immigration clearance system. The move comes after Singapore agreed to reciprocal border control agreements with Taiwan in April. Singapore is the 6th country to have access to the e-gate system after the US, Australia, Italy, South Korea, and Germany. Thanks for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you the images of people saying farewell to giant panda Yuanmeng, the first panda to be born in France, who's being transferred to China. I'm Sandy Chi. Take care and see you next time.